Greetings and salutations, friends. Thank you for joining us on the next installment, the first of year number 4 for Veterans Talk Weekly. Wait a minute, who the hell let the fucking Super Smurfs in here? Get that fucking asshole out of here.
They have a fucking toilet seat as their insignia.
That they do.
Greetings, program!
So how is everyone doing tonight?
This is the way.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is the way.
Hey, Leo!
That is fantastic to hear. Oh, god damn it. I told you to wait to use that one for... Wow. Alright, I see how it's going to be then. Alright. We're going to have battling soundboards tonight. Like, who can play more fucked up shit?
Right now, Burns will win. I'll just tell you that right now.
Oh, you're right. And when you're right, you're right. And you're always right.
Sir, the radar, sir. It appears to be jammed. Raspberry.
That's what I thought. There was more.
There's only one man who would dare to be the raspberry. Lone Star.
Oh my God! You killed Kenny!
You bastard!
What a deal, cat!
Hey!
Get out of here!
No. See, that's the thing.
There's the new Avatar image. I don't want to hear about my ugly mug and the small little fish. Okay.
No. Instead, you got the small little bird.
No, that's not. Look again. That's not a small little bird. It's a proud bird.
It's all perspective, man. It's all perspective.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. That was at the end of my driveway last week. I loved it.
Yeah, there's... Oh, I need to find that video on my Twitter again. There is a chestnut eagle getting rather friendly. That just... There was something majestic about it.
That one about 30 seconds after I took that picture, 30 seconds later, a freaking mockingbird started dive bombing it for no fucking reason other than it was just sitting there minding its own goddamn business.
Well, no, so you gotta remember, mockingbirds and sparrows are the asshole chihuahuas of the avian world. They need to be...
I can agree with you on.
They need to be pestering asshats to a big bird of prey like that. Otherwise, they are going to be the prey that they are trying to not be.
Well, what about geese? They're just assholes all around.
No. That's Canadian geese, and that's why the Canadians are so happy and easygoing, is because they funnel all of their rage through the warp, through the metaphysics, and created those motherfuckers. Yeah. You know it's bad when a military branch needs to have a safety brief about a fucking bird.
I can either... Well, to be fair, it is the Air Force. They wouldn't know how to handle a situation.
True, there is that summer camp mentality there. But, so it's... There were other things that I thought that we were going to talk about, but, not worth it.
Well, I'm trying to find stuff, but...
What about you guys? We ain't found shit.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it.
Nope.
I have this lovely story, and I'm literally like 4 paragraphs in, and I already want to shoot my brains out.
Oh, jeez.
What are you reading? Donald Trump's manifesto?
Oh, that's only one line.
All right, so
the rest is an emojis.
Yeah, all right. So, hang on. From the chat, Leon says, "Didn't Furball have a safety brief about a bird, and then got chewed out after someone catcalled it?" Oh no, he was at a command training evolution where the topic was sexual harassment. The presentation was being done by a JAG officer, a military lawyer. The officer happened to be female. That one of the dumbasses decided to whistle at as she was walking up to the podium.
Oh no.
Yeah, because the D was surprisingly large.
Oh no, that is small D energy right there. Granted, funny as fuck if everyone has the same sense of humor and you know that it will be received in kind. But if you don't know the entirety of the audience there, you might want to reconsider that sort of action. Oh, wait, what is the term? Oh yeah, you need to know how to read the room. And I think who was it? Was it the Times or the Post?
The Times.
Yeah, the New York Times needs to learn how to read a room because holy hell, the title alone.
Oh no, it gets even better if you know anything going on with their Project Veritas lawsuits.
Oh really?
Oh, yes, Nick
Do
Rekieta of
explain.
Rekieta Law. Hold on, I'm going to stop sharing this just because don't want to distract from it. So, Project Veritas last election cycle put out a series of videos showing ballot harvesting in various areas. One of which also happens to be the district of Representative Ilhan Omar of Minneapolis, or her suburb of Minneapolis, anyways. And the New York Times put out a piece that was not listed as an opinion, was not posted in the opinion section, but was listed as basically posted in a factual news section of their website and paper. And Project Veritas, and why can't I think of his name? The owner of Veritas.
Oh, I don't remember. Again,
Anyways.
you tend to remember. Well, you tend to not remember people and things that don't matter and aren't relevant to you.
Oh no, it matters because he's also suing them as well for defamation as part of the Veritas lawsuit too.
Oh, fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't think of his name though right now. It's well. Anyways, so when the lawsuit is filed, they respond with basically, "You can't sue us. This is an opinion piece." And Project Veritas is like, "Well, nowhere in your article does it say it's an opinion piece, and you don't list it as opinion, yada yada yada." And so, in a counter response to that response, they basically come out and basically say, "Well, yes, but that's because we're invoking what's known as the Rachel Maddow defense. That is, people should know that this is an opinion." Yeah.
The fuck?
Anyway, yeah, they basically come out and admit, yeah, well, yes, these aren't factual. None of this was really factual. It was all opinion based, yada yada yada. But we posted it in a factual way, so therefore, everybody should know that it's opinion. Is the long and short of it. But then recently, because they're appealing the dismissal of their original dismissal on anti-SLAPP lawsuit grounds, they're asking for the judge that's hearing their appeal to file a preliminary injunction to stop discovery of in the case itself. Which Project Veritas is like, no. We want to do this discovery. We want to spend many hours doing this discovery, depositions and all this fun stuff. Because, Project Veritas and New York Times, they both have money to spend on these types of legal actions. So Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, whether you like his politics or not, actually does a good job of summing them up and trying to be as unbiased as possible. But he is very much a free speech proponent, and there is some bias in his reporting of this. So I don't want to make it seem like he's perfect or anything.
Yeah, but the reason why newspapers and news outlets have the editorial section is exactly for that reason. They are editorializing a topic. They are giving their read, their opinion, their view of a subject that is not. Uh, wow. Wow. And
So yeah,
people wonder why I've been critical of all major media outlets for over 2 decades now.
let me see if I can pull up the. I think he says he has a playlist of the whole thing. So
It's mine!
oh yeah,
Mine, I say! No, no, no touch!
Video.
No, they're going at it, trying to get each other in trouble, and yeah, so
No, dogs would never do that to each other. They're just dumb animals.
Yeah.
Didn't you know that?
all right. There's the Nick
Yeah,
Ricada
you
playlist
would
for
think that.
all of Project Veritas's um, legal stuff. So
Okay, couple comments from the chat. You have Sean Sean Carroll asking, let's just ask a question here. Isn't Fox just saying they took off the mask by stating that excuse? The whole it's entertainment instead of news? Yeah.
yeah, well, Rachel Maddow did the same thing with her when she used the word literally as in a figurative, and people were supposed to understand it to be figurative, when in actuality the way she was phrasing it and wording it was the literal definition of literally.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that you can get in trouble and you can catch flack for stating something as fact, presenting it and voicing it in such a way as it is being interpreted and received as you are talking about something that is factually based and this is exactly what happened,
Well,
and
no, it can see it better.
and simply following it up with, well, that's just my opinion, doesn't actually fly?
It actually flew in Rachel Maddow's case.
Holy fucking shit.
That's why it's called in that circle, the more right, the center to right leaning lawyer channels call it the Rachel Maddow defense for a reason.
Holy shit. So we have, well, yeah, thank you, Johnny Cochran, for the Chewbacca defense.
I mean, it is the news media, the way that I see it nowadays, and I hate to be even associated by profession as a public relations graduate here, has gone so far away from what they were supposed to be that it's just like, why even try to have a news organization at all if you're not going to actually just, here are the facts, here's what we know, here's our opinion in an editorial piece on this, but please make your own decision. Why even have it? So, and then this person who's writing the free speech is killing us. Yeah, let me get into that.
Yeah, that's just, I'm wondering what the rationale here is going to be.
So by Andrew Marantz. Mr. Marantz is a New York staff writer and is the author of the forthcoming book, Antisocial. This was done in October 2019. There has never been a bright line between word and deed. Yet for years, the founders of Facebook and Twitter and 4chan and Reddit, along with the consumers obsessed with these products and the investors who stood to profit from them, tried to pretend that noxious speech prevalent on those platforms would not metastasize into physical violence. In the early years of this decade, back when people associated social media with Barack Obama or the Arab Spring, Twitter executives referred to their company as a quote, the free speech wing of the free speech party, end quote. Sticks and stones and assault rifles could hurt us, but the internet was surely only a force for progress. There's paragraph 1 for you.
Okay, not wrong so far. because that is how they were portraying it and
Oh no, I
what they said.
understand.
So
Yeah.
okay, let's see where.
No one
Goes from
believes
here.
that anymore. Not after the social media fueled campaigns of Narendra Modi and Rodrigo Duarte and Donald Trump.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
When
it's,
when it's beneficial to me, it's okay and fine. But when it's beneficial to the other side, no, it's fucking wrong.
not after the murder of Heather Heyerdahl in Charlottesville. Not after the massacres in the synagogue in Pittsburgh, the two mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand, and a Walmart in a majority Hispanic part of El Paso. The Christchurch gunman, like so many of his ilk, had spent years on social media trying to advance the cause of white power. But these posts he eventually decided were not enough. Now it was time to quote, time to make it a real life effort post, end quote. He murdered 51 people.
Wait, hang on. Let's hold it right there. Is this person trying to say that psychopaths and mass murderers were never a thing before social media?
No. Just saying that their opinions couldn't be as easily disseminated before social media. Not realizing there's an entire what people call the corner that is the dark web, which I think is our socially viewable portion of the web is the corner, and the dark web is the rest.
Yeah, and what about the whole thing about, I don't know, the KKK being a thing before the internet existed? Yeah, they had a real hard time spreading their message before the information age. Give me a fucking break.
Having spent the past few years embedding as a reporter with the trolls, bigots, and propagandists who are experts at converting fanatical memes into national policy, I no longer have any doubt that the brutality that germinates on the internet can leap into the world of flesh and blood. The question is where this leaves us. Noxious speech is causing tangible harm. Yet this fact implies a question so uncomfortable that many of us go to great lengths to avoid asking it. Namely, what should we do? The government, the private company, or the individual citizens be doing about it? Nothing, or at least that's the answer one so often hears from the liberals and conservatives alike. Some speech might be bad, this line of thinking goes, but censorship is always worse. The First Amendment is first for a reason.
Okay, I have something to say in response to that line specifically, but I feel we should get more context before we make that correction.
Good. After one of the 8chan-inspired massacres, I can't even remember which one, if I'm being honest, I struck up a conversation with a stranger at a coffee.
After one of the 8chan-inspired massacres, I can't even remember which one, so you're pulling it out your ass.
Well, remember, this is listed as an opinion piece.
At least there is that. You know what? You do get a cookie for that one, but it's
a dog cookie.
Yeah, let's go with that one. It's kinder than what I had in mind.
I struck up a conversation with a stranger at a coffee shop. We talked about how bewildering it was to be alive at a time when viral ideas can slide so precipitously into terror. Precipitously, sorry. Then I wondered what steps should be taken. Immediately, our conversation ran aground. No steps, he said. What exactly do you have in mind? Thought police? He told me that he was a leftist, but he considered his opinion about free speech to be a matter of settled bipartisan consensus. I imagined the same conversation remixed slightly. What if instead of talking about memes, we were talking about guns? What if I invoked the ubiquity of combat weapons in civilian life and the absence of background checks? And his response.
Whoa!
Hold on, let me finish this. And he responded with a shrug. Nothing to be done. Ever heard of the Second Amendment?
Okay, the response is apt, but no background checks? I I am guaranteeing right now, this is how confident I am in this statement. The person who wrote this article has never tried to legally purchase a firearm.
Yeah. At a gun show or at a dealer.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Any legal means of buying a firearm, this person has never done it.
Using, quote, free speech, end quote, as a cop out is just as intellectually dishonest and just as morally bankrupt. For one thing, the First Amendment does not apply to private companies.
Wow, so you do know that bit of it.
Even the most creative reader of the Constitution will not find a provision guaranteeing Richard Spencer a Twitter account. But even if you see social media platforms as something more akin to a public utility, not all speech is protected under the First Amendment anyway. Libel, incitement of violence, child pornography are all forms of speech. Yet we censor all of them, and no one calls it the death knell of the Enlightenment.
Oh, okay, so far I'm agreeing with you on that.
Free speech is a bedrock value in this country, but it isn't the only one. Like all values, it must be held in tension with the others, such as equality, safety, and robust democratic participation. Speech should be protected, all things being equal. But what about speech that is designed to drive a woman out of her workplace, or to bully a teenager into suicide, or to drive a democracy towards totalitarianism?
What?
Navigating these trade-offs is thorny, and as trade-offs among core principles always are. But that doesn't mean we can't avoid. That doesn't mean we can avoid navigating them at all.
Okay.
In 1993 and 1994, talk radio hosts in Rwanda called for bloodshed helped create the atmosphere that led to genocide. The Clinton administration could have jammed the radio signals and taken those broadcasts off the air, but the Pentagon lawyers decided against this, citing free speech.
No. There's a different issue there. Where were the radio hosts located? Where was the radio station located? Rwanda. Where does the U.S. legal code end? The border of all U.S. territory. Sorry,
Yep.
I can't use my law in my home to persecute someone 3 streets over. It don't work that way. You can voice your displeasure. You can voice that you disagree with it. You can say that, sorry, that shit is wrong. You can say that. But
Well,
holy fucking
let me finish
hell.
this paragraph. It's true the propaganda speech would have been curtailed. It's also possible that the genocide would have been averted.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
Because in a situation like that, you're not just combating the individual mouthpiece that's actually saying the ideas, that's actually verbalizing it. There's a core issue there. There is an actual cause there that needs to be identified and addressed. If all you're doing is go after symptoms, well, you're not curing the problem. In order to actually cure the problem and make it to not be a problem anymore, you need to get to the cause, not just focus on the symptoms.
I mean, it's almost like in order to defeat bad ideas, you have to challenge them with good ideas.
Or
Yep.
or challenge them in such a way that makes them have to justify what they are saying and let them do the exposing of how bad their ideas are on their own.
Yep. I'm not calling for the repeal of the First Amendment or even the banning of speech I find offensive on private platforms. What I am arguing against is paralysis. We can protect unpopular speech from government interference while also admitting that unchecked speech can expose us to real risks. We can take steps to mitigate those risks. The Constitution prevents the government from using sticks, but it says nothing about carrots. Yeah. I think my brain's hurting.
Yeah. Hang on. Rodent no last
Yeah.
name. Rodent no last name. This is going to be a fun one. Well, under that logic, we should not have gone to war with Germany. We could justify. We could not justify invading to stop a genocide if our laws and morals stop at our borders. That is. Oh, but that's not why we declared war. We declared war because of treaties and mutual protection and defense agreements.
Also, Germany declared war on us first.
True, because Japan attacked us, actually directly attacked our forces, not just in Hawaii at Pearl Harbor, but also the Philippines.
Yeah, they attacked us in multi-prongs and directly, so therefore we declared war on them as justifiably we should have. Then Germany declared war on us, then we declared war on them and sided with the UK and USSR. And
Actually, we never declared war on Germany, but we didn't have to because Germany had declared war on us, therefore putting us in a state of war with Germany.
Yeah, but we basically agreed that it was there. So semantics.
Yeah, but I mean, under constitutional law, we were supposed to have declared war through Congress.
Yes, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure they're just
But
like,
again,
okay,
it's
well,
semantics.
Japan has a treaty with Germany. Germany enacted that treaty. Okay, we're justified.
I think the legal loophole that they fell into is actually in the declaration of war against Japan. It was against Japan and its allies, who was Germany.
Yeah, that could be.
Yes, it is a convoluted mess. All right. Congress could fund, for example, a national campaign to promote news literacy, or it could invest heavily in library programming. Oh God, no, they did. Okay, I'm done with this.
Wait, what?
It could build a robust public media in the mold of the BBC.
Fuck no. Oh,
hell no.
State-run media is a bad idea, no matter what side.
What? No, hang on. There is one way that actually state-run media can actually be done as close to right as possible. PBS. Where the government allows and facilitates the access to both radio, television, and other transmission avenues to be funded by the public for material for the public. That's the whole thing of made by viewers like you. And the PBS, if you were to compare PBS,
no, it's not made for viewers like you. It's made possible by viewers like you.
Well, and that's the thing is, there's no commercial interest there.
But ultimately you're still at the whim of the producer, of the channel board, and therefore political view will be expressed either right, left, or center.
Right, but the point is that under the PBS guidelines is that they're supposed to provide, if you do a left, you do a right. If you do a right, you do a left. Now, at the end of the day, does it always balance out to equal? No. But as long as they maintain within a reasonable error,
they have to maintain I think it's a 70-30 lean is what I know Channel 13 down in Dallas is. It's a 70-30 lean.
Well, yeah, Rodent brings up a good point. and this is actually more what I was getting to.
That's true.
PBS, while they do get federal funding, it's a small amount, and like I said, it's for basic infrastructure to make sure that they can keep information flowing. Yeah, they can keep the lights on. That's
Yes,
what the
and
federal government helps PBS with, and PBS's mission is funded by the people for the people in its presentation,
put your hand down.
which the BBC is not.
No. Yeah.
But go ahead, Leon. I know this is quite quite the topic for you.
I have to bring this up just because of something that I even showed Burns yesterday.
Yep.
We have state media here. We used to have TV licensing fees, which they got rid of in favor of a 1% cut of your wages and taxes. That is 1 extra percent in taxes on top of the stuff they already had before. To run a state media that isn't, they aren't borderline corrupt. They are so fucking far beyond corrupt that one of the party people here, a person from the Centre Party named Federley, who himself has been in a partnership with a convicted paedophile that, along with some other people, had, how was it? They committed, what was it, around 1,600 separate crimes or separate assaults on children, whereupon some of them were actually recorded as well.
Yeah.
He had brought this person home. He had this person around his neighbor's kids, his own kids. And when this was brought up, and this guy was brought to the attention of state media, and he got on and was interviewed, he got the tamest questions. He got the most vanilla, milky fucking questions you could ever imagine.
Oh, kind
The
of like
guests were asking him harsher questions. And even then, after that show, after the interview, he was pissing and moaning about how they insinuated things about him, how they were so mean towards him, how he was feeling so bad because they were attacking him.
so.
Well, to this day, he's still with the fucking paedophile and in contact with him. And the state media didn't even confirm its sources, just believing him on his word, despite having the information beforehand contradicting what he said.
So the point that I was getting to is so you have state-run media out there that is laughably and horrendously run. One example there, another example, the BBC and everything there. But the reason why I am willing to give PBS just a share of credit of being the closest to getting it right, while the federal government is one of the funding avenues for the channel nationally, which each individual region has its own PBS station that is mandated and is operating and is in use. The state does not have any direct control or influence on the material. That is left to the individual stations and production managers and that side of it. Which that's where, no matter what, if you have people involved, you're going to have political slants involved. Whether it's a nonprofit station and agency like PBS, or whether it's one of your major hallmarks of international media like ABC, CBS, Fox, and name any of the main media sources that do news and entertainment shows. You're going to have biases in there. You're going to have those slants and those things worked in because it involves fucking people, and people suck.
Just something to bring up here, and then I'm gonna pop off again. There you go. Have fun.
Oh God.
Oh
Take care
yes.
now.
That's a good one. Go ahead and share it.
Yes, I will. As a matter of fact, we're just gonna pop it right here.
This is the person that Leon was referring to that is currently still connected, as he stated. I'm willing to condemn his actions. His deeds are horrible, but don't try to give me any responsibility for his past. But even acknowledging and knowing his history, I'm still going to be really buddy-buddy with him because it's beneficial to me. That's the kind of behavior and mentality that I have been separating myself from.
All right, shall we talk about Section 230 now?
Oh,
Yes.
oh.
It could rethink. Back to the article. It could rethink Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, the rule that essentially allows Facebook and YouTube to get away with, in parentheses, glorification of, end parentheses, murder.
You're
This
fucking
person
joking.
doesn't really.
Wow.
This person doesn't understand what 230 is actually about.
That's what I. Wow.
I've learned about 90% of the online community has no idea what Section 230 is about, but you know.
Nope.
If Congress wanted to get really ambitious, it could fund a rival to compete with Facebook or Google, the way the Postal Service competes with FedEx or UPS.
You mean loses to FedEx and UPS?
Not to mention the
Yeah.
Postal Service has been around since before the
Either
FedEx
one of
and
those, yeah.
UPS. Oh, and also the Postal Service also does what's called the last mile on delivery for those services too. It's almost like they have a contract working with the federal government. Oh, we don't want to talk about that.
Oh no, of course not.
Or the all right, back to the article.
You
Or
know,
the private sector.
I could bring in somebody who could tell you about the last mile. Because my father retired with 37 and a half years with the post office.
I did 3 months. I've got a good gist of it.
Okay. Leon, that response is funny as fuck. I will give you that, but yeah, a bit on the nose for the topic that was there before. But
which knows?
Yeah. So, Rodin asked a good question that I need to clarify my stance and view of it on. That does bring up the point. Can we separate the artist from the art? There is a difference between art and a service. Art and the artist are intrinsically linked. There's no humane way to create art that is not somehow influenced by who you are as a person and your views. So if it is art, which would be the entertainment side, no. But if you are supposed to be providing a service to inform people, to let them know what is going on, that is where your bias and opinions needs to be left at the fucking door, and you just say, this is what happened, this is what we can confirm, this is what we know. There's your service. You are informing the people. If you want to go further and go into the opinion side, now you're back in the art side of it, which is separate from the service of informing the public. Anyone disagree with my view on that? Anyone want to pick it apart? By all means, go for it.
No.
Well,
right now, I at this point, I'm just
part of my
casually
problem-
listening to you guys because this is over my head.
Well, and actually, Nikki, I'm
well,
glad
part of
you.
my problem is, Jared, is that you don't really separate the fact that art is such a subjective term. I mean,
Media
people would look at a
created for,
painting.
my definition of art in this case is actually really simplistic. Media created for entertainment.
Yep. I will agree with that.
You know. Okay, but then you have to draw the line. What is entertainment? What is vulgarity? Because we have seen the crossover of both.
So you're going into the moralistic side of where art should be limited. Right now, I'm sticking with the whole difference between whether or not the government should get involved in media affairs and communication affairs. And this is where I say the only way they should is in a mode similar to going back to PBS. Provide an avenue that is for the dissemination of information and leave it as that. That is the extent that the federal government should be involved. We are providing an avenue that information can be disseminated.
That's where I agree with you.
Yeah. But when you get into art,
that's where I agree with you.
Yeah. But when you're getting into views and censoring art, that's where you get into more murky stuff that does have more complexity to it, because there's a lot of nuance to it. There's a lot of minutia to it. So something that you may deem as offensive and vulgar, not everyone will agree. So how do you establish a benchmark? How would you come up with a litmus test for that? That's the issue there, is how do you get to a consensus litmus test? And how often do you reevaluate this bit? Just look at what's being offered from media now. There's the thing of watching a movie from 25 years ago and being able to ask yourself the question, could this movie be remade today as it is? And how many times is the answer to that? No.
every Mel Brooks movie ever.
No, I think Young Frankenstein.
The only one
I think Young Frankenstein might be able to be redone today as is.
Yeah. I agree.
Maybe that could be, but definitely Blazing Saddles and History of the World Part 1 are definitely.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs could be done.
Spaceballs is definitely gone.
It would be slapped by Lucas. It would be slapped by Disney for infringement.
Yeah. But we've lost. I think we've lost sight of satire in all of this, and that's a sad part of all this, is that we've lost sight of satire.
Satire.
Well, a lot of people have gotten so against even the idea of criticism and challenging. Like, the whole hard line, you're either with me or against me. You either agree with me or you're the worst fucking thing on earth. There's been so many issues like that perpetuated that really have no rational founding.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the third option.
You found a re on the soundboard. That is great.
What's even better is that's actually Brittany Venti. That was her re at the wall of "He will not divide us."
All right. Shall I go on?
Yes, please.
Or the private sector could pitch in on its own. Tomorrow, by fiat, Mark Zuckerberg could make Facebook slightly less profitable and enormously less immoral. He could hire thousands of more content moderators and pay them fairly. Or he could replace Sheryl Sandberg with Susan Benesch, a human rights lawyer and expert on how speech can lead to violence. Social media companies have shown how quickly they can act when under pressure. After every high-profile eruption of violence, Charlottesville, Christchurch, and the like, Tech companies have scrambled to ban inflammatory accounts, take down graphic videos, even rewrite their terms of service. Some of the most egregious actors, such as Alex Jones and Milo Yiannopoulos, have been permanently barred from all major platforms.
Sometimes
Okay, I
errantly
got
and
one.
incorrectly, kind of like Sargon of Akkad from
Yeah.
Patreon.
Yep. But here's the thing: is even with Milo, okay, you're talking about a gay man from Britain.
He's not gay anymore.
Okay,
He's straight.
who?
Dead fucking serious.
Yeah.
How do you figure that?
He came out and said, "Oh no, I'm straight. I'm no longer gay."
Yeah.
Oh, good God! I hadn't followed.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't been able to follow Milo, but you know, I mean, but here's the thing: is that every white supremacist hates him. They hate his idealism. They hate the fact that he was for so long a mouthpiece for the conservative movement. That he overrode their ideas. That he had a black male lover, all of that. But even then, he did say that the baiting of speech was bad. The only way to counteract and countermine bad ideas with good ideas is to have the bad ideas be allowed to be voiced.
Yeah, if you push it into the darkness,
he has said that.
If you push bad ideas, bad think, bad speech, if you push it off of where a light can be shown on it, it's going to fester and get worse. And then you're not going to know about shit before it happens. That's actually where a lot of the changes that have happened on social media platforms and their TOS have actually been to better identify, better report necessary things that may be indicators of someone who could be a threat, which I don't have a problem with. If you step out of line and
I don't either,
and you start acting a fool, don't be surprised if people start looking at you differently. That's the thing. You are free to say whatever you want, but you're not free from the consequences of it.
No. But here's the thing: is that does your public opinion have to influence your private life? That is that's the ultimate dictator of where I draw the line. Should I come out and say, yeah, I supported Trump for all 4 years publicly on a YouTube channel, and my boss see it and say, I hated Trump all 4 years he was president, you're fired Monday morning.
If
that's being fired for wrongthink, and that is wrong.
Agreed.
Period.
And that's, but you get into a gray area of being able to prove that was the justification for it. And that's where documentation and being able to provide the evidence for that claim matters, because guess what? We already have laws on the books that are enforceable, that even in an at-will state, there are certain things that you cannot be fired for. You cannot be fired for political affiliation. You cannot be fired for any sort of biodiverse metric that is out there.
Agreed.
So that whole thing about not being able to be fired because of how you look, how you act, in that sort of way, that does not actually affect job performance. You have to get it documented in such a way that is pointed and can be shown to be the reason for the termination. Otherwise, it's a he said, she said, and you're screwed by how the employer actually documents it in their records. And that is unfortunate. I don't like it, but that is the reality of it.
Also,
you can overcome that if you could. You could overcome that if you could demonstrate a pattern of behavior, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hell, HR specialist. How hard is that to do?
Oh, it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had one guy who up and quit because he was being punished for a perceived wrong that on camera it appeared that he was stealing something. Something was in our lost and found, which was in a cupboard that is normally locked, but however, sometimes during the day, we keep it unlocked for access to logs, basically, so we can take our logs. But basically, once the logs are done, it's locked up. While it was open, he got in there, was rummaging around in it, and it appeared to be he took something out of there. He was just getting a talking to with a union rep, because we are a union position. He was getting a union rep. He was going to be talking to the loss prevention and store managers, and he up and left rather than actually lay out his side of the story because he felt so persecuted by it. Well, then he tried to file unemployment and all this other stuff, and they're like,
You quit.
according to this documentation, he quit.
Yep.
He never came back to work. I mean, just things like that. If you feel you are at least justified in your defense of whatever, make sure you stick around for it. Don't just storm off.
Yep.
Speaking of rights and things like that, quote, we need to protect the rights of speakers, end quote. John A. Powell, a law professor at the University of California, Berkeley, told me. But, end quote, but what about protecting the rights of everyone else, end quote. Mr. Powell was the legal director for the ACLU in the late 80s and early 90s, and he has represented the KKK in federal court. Quote, racists should have the rights, end quote, he explained. Quote, I also know, being black and having black relatives, what it means to have a cross burned on your lawn. It makes no sense for the law to be concerned about one and ignore the other, end quote.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing: is that burning a cross on somebody's private property is a completely separate crime and is not protected by free speech.
Well, because you have property damage, you have other laws being broken.
Yes. Therefore, that entails that gray area, and that is unfortunate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does it happen? Yes, it's happened in the past. Will it happen again? Yes, with less frequency, as we've seen. But again, it comes down to, is it a physical property crime, or is it just somebody out in a pasture owned by another one of their friends, and then their buddies get together and think it's cool to light a cross on fire? Okay. And it'd be visible for 2 or 3 miles around. Okay. Where's the inference? Where's the actual criminal action?
Yes, and that's the thing, is a lot of people are trying to advocate that actual words are actual violence because of their own emotional response to it. And while I do agree that myself or anyone can say something that is a completely dickish thing to say that pisses someone off, that makes them angry, makes them upset, or mentally affects them in a way that is extreme enough to promote some sort of physiological response. But that does not mean that it is equivalent to me taking a baseball bat up and injure them physically. That requires medical attention. There is a difference there that you need to be recognizing of enough of your own self that when someone says something to you, they only have as much power on your emotional and mental being as you give them. Not everyone has the same coping mechanisms. Not everyone has the same mental skills for appropriate self-care and management, and that's where other avenues for therapy, counseling, and other means for you yourself as that person come in handy and should be utilized and not stigmatized, and you should be allowed to actually ask questions appropriately about those subjects without being told, oh, you can't ask that, because shutting down that conversation causes its own problems through remission, regression, and a negative perpetuating feedback loop. You need to be able to have the difficult discussions. And I think that's where a lot of this comes from, is people are afraid to have the difficult discussions anymore.
Yeah. Well, have you ever watched Fleckus? Have you ever watched Fleckus Talks?
No.
Oh, he's not on the level of Andy Nago. Because Andy's on a completely different level when it comes to dealing with Antifa and the BLM movement. But he goes and he talks to university students, or attempts to talk to university students protesting specific speakers. And he runs into these groups that will use the heckler's the heckler's veto to shut down a speaker they think is saying all the wrong things, or that they disagree with completely, so that nobody else gets to hear the speaker. So he goes in and he asks these people, hey, what is it that you disagree with?
And most of them don't have a fucking
all
clue.
They can say is they parrot exactly, or they parrot what somebody else told them. And that is what he's finding with all of these people is that they're not afraid to use the heckler's veto to shut the speaker down, but at the same time, they don't know why they're using the heckler's veto.
Yeah, they're just blindly following along and listening.
Yeah, and then saying, you hurt my feelings, after the guy spoke and told them, hey, if you want to sit down and listen. If you don't, get up and leave. You don't have the right to use the heckler's veto to try to shut me up. And I've seen that time and time again. You see it with various conservative speakers now.
Did you hear about Andy No's book and the bookstores in Portland?
I know a lot of shit has happened around Andy No, but
okay. So basically, a bunch of protesters would go around to bookstores well before the book has even been published to paper yet, and demanding that the bookstores not carry his book because they will just continue to harass a mob and blah, blah, blah. It got to the point where the biggest bookstore in Portland, the biggest local like mom and pop bookstore in Portland, refused to carry his book even before it printed, and they had already made an order request on it.
They didn't carry it in stores, but they didn't carry it in stores, but they're selling it in the online store.
I don't even think that they did that.
Did you mean? Yeah, I know that he was attacked by people in Portland.
Oh no, he was recently just stabbed. It looked like from some of his Twitter feed.
Yeah, late last month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But basically, he.
If you're looking for.
Yeah, it's Mumford and Sons. Go back up, Jay. Go back up, Jay. Go back up. Go back up. Right there. Mumford and Sons. Oh no, I thought that was never mind.
No, I knew. No, it's a different. I'll look for it later and post a link later.
Yeah.
But the point it being is that they basically Like Amazon and other retailers carry the book still. I mean, because they're not going to lose out on the sales of a book like that. But the mom and pop stores, where they generally have to have physical copies for the most part, weren't carrying it because they were afraid of the damage that was going to be done to their businesses. And it's sad that you can't even accept the idea of a book about a situation being written, not even published yet, because you don't like the person who's putting it out, who happens to be part of the quote unquote
Well, I mean, it was more,
favorite groups of
it was more than that. I mean, I understand. I understand part of why they tried to block it. I mean, I understand because he named and shamed a lot of Antifa members in that book.
Well, they shouldn't
But
they
at the
shouldn't
same
got themselves
time-
caught by the police.
Exactly. You know, I mean, and it's the whole of what Antifa hates Andy to go for now is that.
Well, actually, speaking of that, here's my view on that. If you're going to do something and not want people to know about it, why are you doing it in the first place? If you're not...
Because
if
police arrest records are public record.
Well, regardless of that, I just think of this base psychology. If you do an action that you are proud of, that you do not believe you did any wrong, you were perfectly justified and obligated, or you did nothing wrong, why would you care if someone mentioned that you did that? Unless maybe you actually realize that what you did was fucked up and wrong and it should be pointed out.
Or it was in your parents' will that you lost access to your trust fund should you do something fucked up like that.
Again, you know you did something wrong. Wrong does not necessarily mean morally or ethically wrong, just that there is a negative consequence to what you did.
I have to talk about something on Twitter really quick. Nikki, in your response to where Chester is?
Doesn't arrive till Tuesday.
Nice.
Perfectly fine.
Nice. Hey, Geist View. Well, actually, for some people, her next show will be on Tuesday.
Yes, for some people it will be. Gotta love time zones.
Yeah.
Do we just finish it? It's 3 more paragraphs.
Go for it.
Yeah, finish it.
All right. Mr. Powell, in other words, is a free speech advocate, but not a free speech absolutist. Shortly before his tenure as legal director, he said, quote, "When women complained about sexual harassment in the workplace, the ACLU's response would be, end quote, sorry, there's nothing we could do. Harassment is speech. End of end quote. That looks ridiculous to us now, as it should, end quote. He thinks that some aspects of our current First Amendment jurisprudence, blanket protections of hate speech, for example, will also seem ridiculous in retrospect. Quote, it's simpler to only think about the First Amendment and to ignore, say, the 14th Amendment, which guarantees full citizenship and equal protection to all Americans, including those who were harmed by hate speech, end quote, he said. Quote, it's simpler, but it's also wrong, end quote. The problem with that is that I highly think that that's been taken out of context.
Yeah.
Because most people who you could classify as free speech absolutists don't ignore the 14th Amendment. They are simply saying this is what the First Amendment says, and we have the right to this. That doesn't mean that we don't accept that there are limitations to that, i.e., things that go against the 14th Amendment. Bothers me. I should confess, I used to agree with the guy that I met in the coffee shop, the one who saw the First Amendment as an all or nothing dictate. This allowed me to reach conclusions with swift and simple authority. It has also allowed me to ignore a lot, to pretend that anything that was invisible to me either wasn't happening or didn't matter. So, confession through projection on this, I see.
Lovely.
In one of our conversations, Mr. Powell compared harmful speech to carbon pollution. People are allowed to drive cars, but the government can regulate greenhouse emissions. The private sector can transition to renewable energy sources. Civic groups can promote public transportation. Cities can build seawalls to prepare for the rising ocean levels. We could choose to reduce all of that to a simpler dictate. Everyone should be allowed to drive a car, and that's that. But doing so wouldn't stop the waters from rising around us. That feels like a very false analogy.
Yeah, I wonder if the author hurt himself with that reach.
That one actually hurt my fucking head.
Like, I can understand where the concept was going until that last line.
Well, I mean, I think the last line was wrongly written. If I can say that. in
Yes,
his defense.
Leon, you have it correct.
Okay. But even okay, if he had added the word electric right before car, he might have had something.
Hey, I'm down for a Tesla.
Oh,
I mean, if you want to give me an electric vehicle that can pull like my Yukon, then I'll gladly give you my Yukon, and I'll drive the electric vehicle.
Have you seen the new Ford?
Here's the issue with electric
Yes, but it still doesn't have my range.
Well, see that's different than pulling power.
Yeah.
Well,
see, that's
but I have pulling power and range.
See, an electric vehicle can have the same pulling power, can actually have the same ability to do work. The major difference between an all electric vehicle and any vehicle that has some sort of petroleum engine is the duration.
Internal combustion
is the duration.
Yeah.
Your range.
I will say,
to be fair, he didn't say pulling power. He just said pull like, and that's that. That would encompass how, the mass you can tow behind you and how far you can tow it.
I want to preference this too. Hold on, I want to preference this too. Electric vehicles have a assload of fucking torque, more than any gas guzzler does.
Instant, and they have instant torque. There's no lead up. It's available from the moment you go. But that's why is like, if you're worrying about how much you can tow, that's not a problem with an electric vehicle that has the proper frame.
Yeah.
The issue is how far can you move that load? That is the big disparity. Which they are already designing electric replacements for semi trucks.
They've been doing that.
But that's still
a lot of them are really more geared towards. A lot of them are geared more towards like small regional things, though, as opposed to like national.
Hold on. No, you wish. No, it's not. They're already prototyped.
Yeah.
But they don't have the range. They do not have the range of the current.
The range is the issue that is with electric vehicles, because here's the thing. What market do you think a lot of the electric vehicles have actually been designed with in mind?
City.
No.
More local.
No. Think about
when they started it was city.
Think about what continent are they actually targeting? Europe.
Probably
Europe.
Asia and
Europe. The reason why there is such a push for electric vehicles is because the European Union and their Economic Commission have actually changed the requirements that all vehicles, with the exception of commercial, are to be all electric, I think by 2030.
Yeah.
For the
But
entirety
you're
of the
still
EU.
looking at
So that's the thing. Because of that mandate, because they are the ones who put the foot down and said, no, we are going to have all these vehicle types be electric, no more internal combustion engines. Where are the auto manufacturers designing for and most worried about? That market. That market has a history of not having the range on a regular basis for driving that the US market does, that the Canadian market does. So that's why your capacities, your ranges are not suitable for
smaller.
the majority of the North American market because it's not
Well,
designed for the North American market yet.
It's also here's this too. So on average, what does an average mid-sized family car get for range? It's like 400 to 600 miles, depending on how your driving is, right?
Give it say 500 miles per tank. Wiggle room based on driving habits and location.
All right, so Teslas are about right at that. Very close, if not in some cases slightly exceed that. Again, it's based on your driving habits and what you're doing with the car, but they're close. They're close enough to where it's worth it.
Tesla is getting closer. Hang on though. What's the recharge rate? After you do a full 500 miles in a Tesla, how long do you have to be charging?
They've shrunk it down quite a bit. If you bought it from the factory and it didn't give it some weird second-hand way, it's full charge. I think it's like 30 minutes.
Full charge 500 range in 30 minutes? No. That's what they're shooting for. That's what they're ultimately wanting to get it down to. But you're still at multiple hours for a proper full charge.
Mm-hmm. Which takes a 1-day drive from my place here in Missouri to my work in Texas. And where I stay at in Texas, it takes 1 day for me to get down there in my Yukon. Whereas it would take me 2 days in a Tesla or a Leaf or a Volt or any of the other current electric models out there.
See, and
I know I had a friend of mine drive from Dallas up to here. Okay, yeah, and my Yukon.
That's why it comes
goes
into use
multiple
case.
states.
So
yeah, it comes in the use case.
Right.
I hate to say it, it's coming in the use case.
All right, so let me frame it this way and give people the perspective that I'm looking at things through when it comes to the electric vehicles. Because of current available recharge rates and current available range limitations, an all-electric vehicle is impractical for my purposes because of the amount of driving I do for work.
Yep.
There's been times where I've filled up my tank in the morning and I've had to refill my tank on the way home because of how far I had to go. And in this area, there is not the infrastructure to those spots that would allow me to do that with an electric vehicle.
We barely have it here in Missouri.
Yeah.
My local grocery stores have recharging stations.
Yeah, so
here in Springfield, we don't have any recharging stations. All along the route from Springfield to Dallas, I have 0 recharging stations. Meaning I would have to break out the converter that the car sells with in order to plug up to somebody else's power source, steal their power, or if they were gracious enough to charge me what they pay per watt to have to recharge my vehicle. That's where infrastructure needs to catch up with the technology needing to catch up to make it to where it's 30, 40, 50 minutes to recharge so that it would make it practical to own an electric vehicle.
They had something. They did have something. It's called hydrogen vehicles, but that got squashed out because of certain corporations.
Yeah, and I agree with you there because I know one of the guys that actually developed something that allowed him to run a bottle cap full of water and run his tractor all day long on just that bottle cap of water. And that was scary to think about. But sued into oblivion by the big three and ExxonMobil when he actually went and tried to patent his design for this engine.
So, Rodent No Last Name
And
said
you
that.
can say that you can.
Rodent No Last Name said, but for the most part, current electric vehicle ranges are just fine for the vast majority of people. And I will agree, for a large number of the population, the range is fine. Because they don't go far, and those people are actually primarily on the coast and in the larger cities. So yeah, for them, a vehicle that it doesn't have the range concern is fine. And a lot of those areas have the recharging stations. But that doesn't cover a large geographical area of the country, and you're excluding that market. And when you have a mentality like what the EU and UN is pushing, trying to get rid of all internal combustion engines in a very soon time frame, the EU is 1 or 2 steps away from it. The current Euro 5 emission standards is doing its damnedest to throttle all internal combustion engines to make them impractical as a technology to meet their emission standards. That's how they're going about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing is that. Well, here's the thing is that, you know, and this was one of the things I was actually a proponent of, was there was actually a proposal for a super train that would run from Dallas to Austin, Austin to San Antonio to Houston, and back again, that got throttled during the 1980s. And this was a super train based on the Japanese bullet trains, and it got hammered.
Well, yeah, because
I would love to see something like that.
The competing business interests shot it down because it threatened their profits, so they made it impractical to be implemented.
Yeah, it threatened Southwest Airlines, and of course, you know, Clements was the governor at the time, and if you look at Clements, well, you see how big of a hand he had in the SMU death penalty.
To be fair, I mean,
that is, you know,
needs an open anyway.
Well, Sam Clements was a corrupt politician in Texas. He was part of the old school, good old boy system, and he did not allow for this to go through. Now, a lot of his statements were exactly what happened with the superhighway between Dallas and Houston that was proposed back in the early 2000s, where you had a lot of the farmers between Dallas and Houston going and throwing a bucket full of dirt on the Capitol steps in Austin because they said, I'm not giving up 1 inch of my land other than what I'm throwing here on your steps. Go F yourselves. Okay. And that superhighway would have run 90 miles an hour from Dallas to Houston nonstop, just with a couple of exits, you know, here and there to small little towns to stop off and fill up. Okay. Was it the greatest idea that what's his name, who was the previous governor of Texas prior to Abbott? That would have been shoot, I see his face. He was the one that uttered mofo on a live microphone that caught so much flack.
Yeah, not
Perry. Yeah, Dick Perry or Rick the Dick Perry. That was him.
Oh, him.
But
Okay.
Perry even had a even Perry had a super train proposal up on his desk, up ready to propose to the Texas houses, and it died before it ever got out of committee because they were afraid of the same thing. They were afraid that, hey, these farmers are not going to let it go through, even if we give them, a divided access easement. We build a bridge so that we can dig a tunnel out in their property so that they can access both sides of the property if we have to subdivide their property. All of these things had been thought out for the super train project, and it died.
I wouldn't say it died. I would say it was killed
And
off, and it was
really
quietly
died.
put out to pasture.
Well, the other
Yeah,
style.
but I mean, when you're talking about pasture in Texas, there's a shit ton of pasture in Texas.
Like I said, they did it old Yeller style. Come on now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, putting the barrel up against a rabid dog's head and shooting it's a different story there.
But you have to admit that it is a tempting choice for certain people in public office.
I could get behind super trains. Okay. I could get behind super trains, especially if they're electric.
But would you be at the forefront of a super train?
Here in the States. Oh, I'd drive the son of a bitch straight into a brick wall if it meant that, it got pushed through Congress and freaking everything else. I mean, I gladly crash myself at 300 miles an hour into
Hold
a
on,
wall.
I got to
shit.
talk to my.
Jeez,
I'm going to
come
talk to my congressperson in a couple weeks. I'll make sure to pass that proposal on.
Yeah, well, hey, tell them I'm the first driver. I get to drive it drunk though, but I'm the first driver.
No. You did not stipulate that at the beginning.
Passengers on
You
it.
did not stipulate that at the beginning. We are going off what you said at the beginning.
I'm still gladly going to drive myself in, but I'm damn sure going to be inebriated when I do it.
I'm not surprised that you'd admit to needing to be intoxicated to start a super train.
I wouldn't need to be. Well, I mean, I wouldn't need to be inebriated to start it, but I'd start drinking as soon as I got that son of a bitch running. Drink service is fully engaged. Hey, point me to the galley.
Hang on. I'm going to do a quick individual poll here. You wished... you just sit tight for a moment. Burns, please tell me you caught that.
Yes.
Did you understand what he was actually asked?
I think so.
Well, take a look in the chat. It'll clarify for you. Jay,
sorry.
Jay, I'm pretty sure I already know the answer, but did you catch it?
I caught it.
Nikki?
I'm broken.
What about you, Tech?
LRJ88, you're a fuck.
Shall we play a game?
We're about there. We got the running joke for tonight now.
You better pick one that's good for tonight because I'm playing Quiplash for this shit.
Oh
Fuck
no,
you guys.
we are, and oh boy, do we have the joke of the night to go with.
Peter has an idea, by the way.
It's funny you
mention. I'm about to yell at my wife. So.
It's funny you mention that, Peter, because I know there are people who bought electric vehicles and then installed a gas generator in their garage for the sole purpose of charging said electric vehicle.
Have they died from CO2 poisoning yet?
No, it's in their garage. Garages here are actually quite well ventilated. They have to be.
Surprised.
Leon, I'd like to ask, how do you know that to
every
be
garage,
true?
unless unless you own land in Texas, all your garages are connected to the house and they're not ventilated worth shit. So
And to
yeah.
be fair, I'm broken from Twitter right now. I wasn't broken about this, so I really didn't catch it.
Hey, you wished here is the one just going on about his super train.
Okay, got
yeah,
it.
well, you know,
Thank
fuck
you.
you.
Oh, now you getting it.
Goddamn time, Nikki. Shit.
Oh, no, I mean
said
you.
Twitter,
Where you
no.
been at? Shit.
You wish you have no idea. Twitter has officially almost completely broken me right now.
Well,
So I've only been
trying to-
half-assed.
I'm trying to-
It's been going over my head.
I'm trying to figure this shit out because I'm not seeing any notifications from you. I thought I followed you on Twitter.
You probably
Shit.
did, but did you possibly block me
I
not
gotta-
too long ago?
No, I haven't blocked. I don't block people. People block me. Trust me. With a name like with the name rep_serve on Twitter, yeah, people block me.
Yeah, just go to my Twitter page and just start looking.
Oh, Twitter is such a is such a
I'm not
trash
used to
platform, but
looking
it can be.
Twitter.
It has its moments. Although I did end up.
Could be
hearing a
worse. Could be
rather-
TikTok.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Although
Speaking of TikTok,
if idiots
Okay.
could fly, TikTok
No.
would be the biggest airport.
Yeah, that was my favorite
Okay,
thing
there
I've
we go.
read recently. You know, if stupidity could fly, TikTok would be an airport. Yeah.
Not just an airport, the biggest airport.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just no. Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, some of us are already talking about nuking the Twitter off the face of the planet. So,
Oh God. Yeah.
I can't.
thank you for the answer.
I thought you needed a good laugh.
And there are people who fall for that shit. That's what how many products out there are marketed as a 5G protection device?
Oh yeah.
And there are people who buy them.
Put my
put 'em
wireless
around the
router in a
Wi-Fi.
Faraday cage. Yeah.
I've been complaining about the internet sucking.
I'm
just-
having
I
problem
can't
access the
complain
internet
because the
after I
internet
put it
doesn't
in a Faraday cage.
No, you
Don't worry, we got
Go ahead.
your 5G protection butt plug.
If you need a 5G protection butt plug, there is something seriously fucking wrong with you.
These are
Hey, you-
no, so here's the thing. On YouTube, on mobile, I get ads every now and then. And one ad that came up is there is a beanie, a cold weather hat that is specially designed and lined to protect your head from all the harmful radiation from your cell phone and other wireless transmitting devices.
hey, I remember those.
If you can make money off stupid people, you can do pretty well these days.
You know you wanted one.
So, you wish there's somebody who would definitely want
Yeah.
the 5G butt plug protector.
Oh, okay, all right. I don't need the porn music to understand that. Okay, because a porn star is always going to need a 5G butt protector anyway for my dick.
No. Oh. You know what? While I go ahead and grab another drink, Jay, pull up the visual and show You Wished whose clip you just played.
I will. Give me just a second.
And now, You Wished, keep in mind, you were the one who mentioned this person as a porn star. So, quite literally, you only have yourself to blame for this one.
You bring me the Dr. Pepper, babe. Thank you very much in advance.
Let's see what you think of this.
All right. You just need a still of this. You don't need the whole video playing.
Just a still. Just show him who.
Woman, you gonna play with me like that? Jesus H. Christ.
See,
Again, Flat Earther is a porn star. So where did I go wrong in that?
It's Antonio fucking Subarats.
I know who it is. It's Subarat. A flat earther.
Hey. You know what?
It's a porn star.
No?
I mean, well, let's face it. Okay. All right. Do we need to go into his crimes against humanity here? Because, I mean, let's face it, there is a reason why there is no longer a show called Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. Okay,
because he's a deplorable person is separate from the fact that you're making him out to be a porn star. Dude, I am not for kink shaming at all. But if you see that face and think porn, I gotta question your mental faculties, man.
You just gotta add that porn stash, then you're good to go.
Well, I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen worse.
Porn.
Than that getting yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm not saying that you have to be particularly attractive to get anything, because there are desperate motherfuckers out there.
Well,
I wish I could point to your icon right now.
Yeah, you probably could figure out a way to do that through OBS, but I've known guys in the Navy who actually did porn videos that were uglier looking than me, right?
Yeah, it's called the amateur section, and that's the reason why it's amateur.
No, these were actually not amateur actors. They ended up after the Navy doing 3, 4, 5 years in the career.
I have a soundbite for that. Give me just a second.
Yeah, Jay's got to play with the soundboard again.
Oh no! I got to pull up a YouTube video.
Back and forth.
Nice one, Burns.
I missed it, Burns. Play it again.
I whip my $5 footlongs back and forth.
That was actually pretty good.
I whipped my those breasticles back and forth.
Dim titties.
Oh, hold on. Listen to this one again a little closely and tell me if you know what movie it's from.
All right, go ahead and.
Come on, it's from everybody's favorite South Park creators.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus. I was never really a fan of South Park. I was more a fan of Beavis and Butthead and Mike Judge's later works. Because let's face it, yeah. What was that?
King of the Hill. That was my favorite show.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone have their own particular way of dealing with the idea of what actually happens to Mormon missionaries when they make it to Los Angeles.
Oh no! Don't tell me that's Orgasmos.
Yes, it was.
Oh, I remember that movie.
Yeah, and I believe. Hold on. Holy cow!
Cock
Oh my
rocket! Don't worry, I'm not actually performing. They bring in a stunt cock.
Stunt cock. All right.
Y'all are gonna get me in so much trouble when Strongheart watches this tomorrow. You have no idea how far into.
You said this stuff.
I am probably going. Well, you know what? I'm probably going to end up being nicknamed John Bobbitt. So thank you very much in advance.
But by the way, not only are they famous for Orgasmo with the Mormon undertones, they also made a Broadway musical called The Book of Mormon, starring Josh.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. I've never seen it, but I heard it was really good.
The songs pull up in my my Monty Python Pandora radio all the time.
Okay, so these names are looking interesting.
Oh, hang on here, I gotta join.
Wait. I gotta join you. And
Let me get into my box here.
All right, now my question is Sean Carroll going to enjoy edging us tonight? God damn it!
He's a good edging.
Who was the last one to join?
Thank me, Mom.
This is my timey-wimey detector. It goes ding when there's stuff. Also, it can boil an egg at 30 paces. Whether you want to or not, actually, so I've learned to stay away from hens. It's not pretty when they're low.
Alright, so we're
Thank you, Burns.
You're welcome.
Alright, so let's go ahead.
Alright, who broke you wish?
Strongheart did.
I was gonna say he was already broken.
Oh no! Oh
Fair
no!
enough.
Strongheart just grabbed me by the Johnson.
Oh, are
Did she
you
have
not?
to use an electron microscope?
Are you not used to
Oh no, she didn't need a microscope. Oh no, she just grabbed me by the crown.
This is Quiplayer.
There we go.
Yeehaw.
I'm Schmitty, and you're an
Let's go.
There we go.
Because
Now
after all
it's
this,
set up.
I get to play World of Warcraft
I
with
see
her.
you guys don't have anything better going on. Do this. This is
Oh,
round
by the way,
one.
we did
You'll
not
see
we
two
did
prompts
not
on your
say happy
device.
birthday
Answer
to
them
my
any way
youngest
you
son
want. Each
today.
answer
It's
will
his
go up
birthday,
against
so
someone
Oh,
else's answer, and
I
everyone
am
will
not
vote
going
on
to
which they
subject
like
him to
most.
that
It's
torture.
simple.
I
You
don't want to
score
be
based
charged
on the
with
percentage
crimes
of
against
players who
humanity.
like your answer. Plus,
Oh,
there are
also,
no
you need
prizes
to
at
you need to
stake.
take that up with the Lords of the Night.
Oh well, I
True,
don't care.
but anyways, game on.
And it's already gonna start.
Those prompts sucked.
This is really hard on this one.
Okay.
Giggity.
I want to type something, but I can't. I should have put it that way.
I'm coming.
Oh, that was so easy.
I gave you some good sound bites, didn't you, Jay?
Oh yeah, there's plenty there.
Oh, all
Alright, I'll go
right.
with that. Fuck it. I'm dirty as fuck tonight, sorry.
We wouldn't expect it any other way, especially seeing as how we have a super train to keep an eye on.
Yeah, not gonna comment.
Large. into some deep hole that I'm not getting out again.
No.
Let's start this show.
All right, let's see what the.
You
actions-
probably shouldn't hire a moving company called.
Oh
Blank.
no!
Oh no!
Okay.
There it is.
Well, that one's got my vote.
Actually, that's spelled wrong. That does not get the vote. You wishes, if you wish, please get it right. Thank you very much. Fuck y'all.
You wishes he had a super train.
Bullshit.
I
It should be an apostrophe S, but we'll leave that. We'll let it go.
Yeah. Really.
Somebody didn't vote.
no vote. So guess what? Whiplash.
Next one.
Interesting. Oh. Oh. So it's asking for the punchline, not the setup. Oh, Jay, please tell me you were the one that gave the answer to the right.
You mean sound bites did? Yes, I did.
Hey, there's no. It's cheating.
Next in line. Vote on your devices.
There we go. Properly spelled this time.
Properly
Yeah,
spelled,
exactly.
properly punctuated, and again, it is the crappiest Western gunfight.
The first one might actually be a good Western. So we're gonna go with that.
True. That one has promise.
37 hookers, dead or otherwise, have been worn out by the gal. Let's face it, we need a new horse for that one.
No, that one still is applicable quite often.
No, not necessarily.
By the way, you wish Super Train?
Doesn't arrive till
New
Tuesday.
sport idea, professional blank. It's
Ooh.
voting time.
Like that.
But it's a.
It's Leviosa.
Oh,
Well, the second one was already a sport.
Yeah, I was gonna say trolling is already.
No, you don't get paid for Twitter.
Yeah, I was gonna say, professional.
Yeah, especially your pet. Oh, I'm gonna need way more vodka tonight. That's the damn truth.
And next,
Oh,
come
Leon,
up with a really bad football penalty that begins with intention.
No.
Vote on your devices.
As opposed to unintentional. Oh, you know what though? One goes just a
second one,
little
no.
bit. Yeah, that one just nice.
And try and saying that with a straight face.
I think that's what I like about it.
Next up, a clever thing for James Bond to say as he throws some.
Oh no! Oh no!
Time to vote.
Oh gee.
That is a good question. Let me check.
I whipped my
Nope,
flavored
it
condom.
is already yellow.
Cat it, Theo Cat.
Our question is, when did it go yellow? As soon as you started the stream?
I don't know, but apparently Canal tomorrow is
Round
yellow
one is
too.
in the books. Let's see the scores.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Tomorrow, though.
Me and Jay weren't even part of that.
No, Jay was.
Oh, I was.
Oh, Jay, well, I wasn't watching it.
Time, and to make it interesting, I'm doubling all
Well, hey,
the
Jerry,
point
the
values.
question is that if it's demonetized, do you get the super chat money or not?
Normally, I would not stoop to this level, but I need character space.
A few moments later.
I got a bio. I'll be right back.
Yeah. He walks away.
All right, unfortunately I had to cut off one of the words, but because I couldn't abbreviate things much more than without losing context.
Yeah, I hate it when you have a character limit.
Yeah, character limits do make it difficult, but at the same time, you also have the time frame to worry about too.
Let's take a look.
True.
Our first prompt is, we can all agree that blank.
Oh no.
Okay, everyone, vote for your favorite.
Wow.
I'm gonna go for the one that doesn't have the spelling errors.
Well, not. But a good way to die? I don't know. That might just. No. I want to die with a smile on my face, not with absolute horror.
What if we give you a lobotomy first?
Wow. I've already had one, thank you.
Okay, next one.
We weren't talking about you.
A new word for people that drive too slow
Yeah,
in
you
the
are.
fast lane.
Oh, no.
It's voting time.
You know, that's probably what caused the super train.
Hey, even I found the humor in that one.
I'm broken.
I said we found the running gag for the night.
Between Twitter and here, I am officially broken.
Yes! Score one for me.
You know, I didn't even look at what the standings were.
And next is a very unnecessary surgery. Vote on your devices.
Oh, jeez.
I like one of those just a little bit better than the other.
Because I already had mine for the year. Fuck y'all. Son of bitches.
Yeah, and the train did it.
Exactly. It wasn't fun neither. Go to hell, Jerry.
Bullshit.
Pass that.
Coming up next, something
you
overheard
like it.
at the Last Supper.
Oh, fuck.
Time to vote.
Oh, wow. Both of them are good. Okay, both of these are good.
I really want to jump on the train, but no.
No, I can see Jesus Christ actually saying that, though. I can actually see Jesus saying that, though. Where is your super train at? Because, you know, I've got to carry the man. I gotta carry the man to the freaking cross, you know. I mean, Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, but guess who's doing the drawing? It's Peter Griffin.
Ask God when you meet him.
Oh no.
It's voting time.
Okay, the end of that one on the right is with his super train intact.
Oh, this is a tough one then. This is a tough one.
I can't breathe. Holy
what?
shit!
You know, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Let's see what the results are.
I can tell you what he made. I can tell you what God made my liver out of. Freaking titanium and kryptonite. Fuck y'all.
Those are both horrible.
How would you fix the economy?
Oh no.
Vote on your devices.
Oh, let's see. Oh.
One is just a fun game of hot potato. The other one is you wish super train.
But what if we stop You Wish Super Train with thermonuclear hand grenades?
That would be
It's the ultimate game of hot potato.
That would be, yeah, that would be fun because we'd nuke Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, El Paso. Hell yeah, we'd wipe Texas off the fucking map.
We've reached the end of round 2.
They're
Let's
throwing.
see what happened.
Unfortunately, their throwing range, or their blast radius exceeds their throwing range.
Yeah.
Just slightly.
Oh wow!
And now round 3.
Oh,
The
this is going to be
last
too.
Point values are
Trigger warning cancel.
answering the same prompt this
Oh,
time.
let's see what the problem.
All right, let's see
Your
round
last
3.
prompt is
A strange.
a strange
Oh.
poster to hang in a college dorm room.
Oh, that's me. Oh.
Damn it. Okay, that worked.
Sorry, Nikki.
Hey,
I
it's
hate when you're
fine.
coming up with an idea and you run out of space to type letters.
Yeah, that happened to me last
gotta be
round.
unique. You gotta be unique. You gotta be unique.
You have to go back and get clever. Sexy.
That's all on Sean, by the way. There.
Time to take a look.
One didn't make it.
Okay,
One
in round
answer
3,
didn't
you get
make
to
it.
award 3 votes. You can give
Yeah,
one
it was
answer or spread them
mine.
out.
It was spank me, mommy. Fuck y'all.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, let's see. Which
No,
three do I
no.
like? Oh, damn.
All right, Jay, you can fuck off.
What
That
was
will
that?
never ever happen.
But Nikki, it would only be done.
I'm voting for that one twice,
Yeah.
actually. And let me give this one another one. I don't usually vote for one multiple times, but I'm voting for one multiple times this time.
This is the way.
Wow.
This is the way.
I just have to.
This is the way.
Let's just.
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
going
the
to
way.
be amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, Supertramp could probably do a good thing with that.
That was definitely a well played answer.
Oh God!
I had to vote for that one
no.
twice.
Fuck no. Oh,
Hey, it was
shit,
more
no.
original than any of the others.
There would never be a chance of that happening in hell.
All right, same. I agree.
But what about
Porn.
No.
Nick,
You couldn't pay me enough to make
see.
a porn video with Nikki.
That's all.
let's
Now
see
for
how
the
close.
final
This is going to be
scores.
close, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Barely.
by 70 points?
Well fucking played.
Wow.
I
Fuck you, Jared. It's all
Hey, I warned everyone. Tonight was going to be more of a challenge.
I'm coming.
well, I can see Jared doing that, but
The
yeah.
Pickle Rick remix, that is actually a good song.
Time for round one.
I whip my penis back and forth.
You know what? It's probably that part of the soundboard that did.
Oh no! Oh, let's do here. Oh. There's fireworks going off.
Those prompts suck.
Huh. I don't like this second prompt.
This is how I feel about my second prompt.
William Shatner, you suck, my dude.
Not as a jab at anybody, just that's the sentiment of my second prompt. That's how I felt.
Okay.
Whatever.
It's allowed.
Okay, here we go.
My second
Starting
prompt was
things
a little
off,
more
The
entertaining.
worst name for a
Oh
tennis.
god.
Okay, pick your favorite.
Oh my god. Yeah,
And the tagline for the first one, you too can look like Donald Trump in only 5 minutes.
Powered by Super Train. Nice.
Oh, he missed it.
Sean, how?
Here's that audience edging going.
Yep, prevented this.
Okay,
quick
next
launch.
The hardest thing about being Batman.
Oh no.
Time to vote.
You know what? That one's getting it.
Oh, damn it! Fuck you, whoever did the other one.
Oh. You know, normally I get annoyed when a running joke is so pervasive, but tonight it works.
Broken the fucking middle.
There you go. A quick push at the butt of your own joke at the same time.
Hey, I'm allowed to.
There's
Since the
Gryffindor,
one joke's still
Ravenclaw,
fucking about me,
Slytherin, Hufflepuff, but what's the
I'm
Hogwarts
getting
house
all my
hero?
fucking
Oh, no.
that I can.
It's voting time.
Nice.
You know what? There.
Olivia,
To break the monotony.
No.
Ah,
To break the monotony.
Although, shouldn't it be Chunky Burps Tasty Taco?
No,
Hello,
it's
cue balls. Welcome to
it
the
should be a
house
Blue My
of
Clutch Out
pain.
Tasty Taco.
Ooh, yeah. Oh.
Ooh. Oh.
There goes that audience edging again.
I know.
Yep.
Next one, a great opening line to start a conversation with a stranger.
Oh no.
Vote on your devices.
They're both the same.
Not necessarily.
I'm gonna cover my eyes and click one.
Damn it, I missed.
Interesting.
At least it didn't end up being a James.
It was kind of close.
Ooh.
Oh, you bitches.
Hey, we got Anamorphic Mind back. So, Anamorphic Mind, I'm not sure where you dropped
Coming up
out,
next,
but
a sign you wouldn't want to see at a
you're
seafood
gonna see a
restaurant.
theme.
A theme, fuck.
And I'm not sure if you want to know the story behind the theme tonight. It might not be suited for YouTube. Maybe
yeah,
Twitch.
this is already demonetized.
Hey,
so,
I've already
we don't give a
requested
fuck.
Derived
review.
Derived from context.
I will take it. I told you my prompts were garbage.
Shame.
Next up,
Shame.
this would be a whole lot better if they blank.
Oh no.
It's voting time.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's just.
I gotta admit, I laughed at the first one. I had to vote for it.
Okay, Anamorphic Mind, how did you manage that one? Normally he runs away.
Ooh. Ooh.
Numbers in the chat then.
Yeah, Anamorphic Mind said he had to make SE Montreal his
That's round
bitch.
one. Let's
Who's
take
a
a look at the
flirt?
scores.
Alright, let's see how many Zinch points we got. No. Another close game.
Everything is worth 2 times.
Oh,
as
yeah.
Yeah, but that's only
Ooh.
first round. Wait till the second round is done.
This is the round that has the most impact.
I love historical quote revisionists, such as myself. Because I like to.
Interesting.
Actually, they like to make them.
Interesting.
There we go.
Okay, I kind of like my prompts. Okay.
I like mine too.
Just wait.
It's a trap.
Oh, you're right.
Trap. Yeah, it is.
And when you're right, you're right.
And you know what? You're always right.
Ah. How in the hell do we only end up with 6
Okay,
players
it's time for some
tonight?
quiplashing. First one, come
not
up with a
getting
name
into
for
it.
a salad dressing by Lindsay Lohan.
Oh god.
It involves a
everyone,
super
vote
train.
for your favorite.
Oh no. Oh. Oh.
I'm going for the more politically correct answer in this one, even though it's spelled wrong.
One of them's too realistic, and the other one's.
What, you don't like the Shitra special?
Oh, that's not the one I was calling realistic.
Oh.
Yeah. Audience edging. Thank you.
Okay, next one.
Oh no.
Time to vote.
You know what? Misspelling and all.
You can't help it.
Maybe there isn't a misspelling.
I'm seriously, I'm not kidding. I am fucking broken between Twitter
and us.
really badly on Twitter now, and this. And yeah.
Go. One edge. Sorry, soundbite.
thing to give trick-or-treaters on Halloween.
Oh, no.
Out of candy. Vote on your devices.
You know what? One just that little bit more.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, sometimes like Jared. Yeah, probably Jared's answer.
Nope. Nope. Mine's even better.
God damn. I need tobacco. My next heart attack. Oh, y'all fucking suck. Fuck y'all. That's that.
Oh, that was a good
Next
answer.
in line, Kennedy's original speech said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask blank."
Oh, this has potential.
Time to vote.
One does kind of roll off the tongue a bit better, though.
Wow.
I've even had the tone of voice
Oh,
in my head,
God.
running through my mind for one of them. It's
I
great.
hope to God. I hope to God I break this fucking. I break it.
Oh, fuck you guys. No. Mine was the more historically accurate.
But no, think about the mental image though.
And next is
Kennedy is giving his speech. He's in the middle of that, and he sees you wished. What the fuck is he doing with that train?
It's voting time.
You know what? One is just a little bit worse than the other. But what I find hilarious is one is arriving, the other is leaving.
They're both done.
At least I broke a freaking.
They both finished.
Fuck you, Jay Brown. Fuck you.
Okay, next one. A body of water you definitely shouldn't swim in.
We're all gonna die in hell.
Yes, we are.
One is historic. One is actually geographically accurate.
You know what? I'm going for the non-geographically. I'm going with the running joke tonight.
I've poured it in the Gulf of Napoli. I would swim in an ocean of U.S. train float.
Holy shit! It's freaking. Oh my god! I can't believe that. Freaking. Oh.
Round two is
Bitches.
no more. Let's see the damage.
Well, Jared, we got bumped.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep. Hey, that,
Jay
like I
Brown,
said,
Welcome to
by
the last
removing
match of the final round.
by removing
Stakes
a
are triple.
couple
There's just
options
one
for you
prompt,
guys,
and you're all getting
I
it.
made this more difficult.
The prompt is
It's not more difficult. It's just insanely more hilarious now.
Okay.
Well, that too.
And just go completely boobs and deep throating bananas 24/7.
Hello there.
I'm pretty sure Paris is happy you clipped that one.
okay. So get in.
Well, she doesn't
Hand out
like
your
her
votes.
voice to the point she doesn't like any clips that anyone has
Oh, yeah.
taken of her.
Fuck.
No, they're God
I'm voting
damn.
for that one 3 times. I'm sorry. There's one of these that's winning.
I'm just gonna say now. Fuck you, ass hats. You guys are assholes.
That might was a pretty nice.
So here's the thing, Tech. There are a couple of them I think that would fit that, and
one of them sticks out more than the other to me, so I'm actually giving that one 3. I don't know.
I'm not even. You know what? I wish I could avoid doing this.
And Sean Carroll, all of them are hard.
Leave it to Sean to leave something like that.
This is the way.
Oh my god.
This is the way.
Great success.
Although, Jared, if you wish to fund me a subscription to Among Us, I would greatly appreciate it.
It's free on Epic Game Store right now.
Yeah.
What is it? What?
Among Us.
Among Us.
Oh, is it still? I thought it was just discounted now.
No.
Somebody shoot me the link.
It's over. Let's take a look at the final
Let me
scores.
double check that. Now that I think about it, it is after.
That was a nice
after
third
Thursday.
round there, Nikki.
Jesus.
I was laughing while I was typing that.
Nope.
It wasn't
It
just
was last
because
week's.
of it wasn't just because of this shit. It was Twitter. I think something happened on Twitter.
I'm game for another one.
All right. Another round.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do another round.
God damn it with that song! Stop it! No, that
Theme
song.
music. Keep going.
I
Just
swear to
play
God.
this the whole time.
No, that song is actually in content ID. That's the thing.
Well, anywho,
Yeah, it is.
Maybe that's why I went yellow.
Hear that song.
you get points based
I
on the
think-
percentage
Well,
of
no,
your
it-
You know what?
answer.
It
That's
went
a point
limited,
song.
not
Get more
plain.
votes than your opponent. Go.
Oh, okay.
It actually has to go through the processing after the stream is over to get claimed.
Oh.
More porn.
Oh god, you timed that right as I hit enter on a horrible fucking answer.
I think it I'm up against Jared again. This is gonna be
Okay, voting
fun.
time. Pick your favorite.
Uh-oh.
Wow. You know what?
Jinx.
Oh, one's just a little bit more descriptive than the other.
Well, no, because here's the thing. One is limited to one orifice of the body. The other, you don't know where it could end up.
Or where it could go and then end up.
And the audience agrees.
Damn.
And next, a trick that you shouldn't teach your dog.
Oh no.
Vote on your devices.
Oh, this, wow. Just, I see a lot of answers going in this direction still. And the fact that we can turn just about any prompt into that kind of reference.
Oh.
Whoa, damn.
Is this whole round gonna go like this?
I think so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Next up,
I'm getting
number
that
one
sense.
reason
Nope.
penguins can't fly.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Time to vote.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I'm voting for.
I would have actually said they.
You wished Super Train ran through them? Not over. Through.
No.
Now the first one doesn't really make sense. So I'm gonna vote for the second.
How do you edge this?
Would have been better is that
Next in
they got
line,
free rides on you
a
train,
better name for
Super Train.
testicles.
Oh no.
No.
It's voting time.
You know? Yeah, I'm going with that answer. I'm going with
Watch
with
the
that
protocols,
answer.
dude. Watch the protocol.
I'm going with that because it's not always a no. It all depends on who's reaching.
Right?
I was thinking more along the lines of, stiletto heels.
Oh.
Oh, Eddie.
Thank you, Sean.
Oh, damn.
Oh, fuck you, Sean. I love you, but fuck you.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
Time to vote.
You know what? You know what? That one of these takes the cake.
Are you sure?
The other one is a Super Train reference.
Oh. Wow. Just wow.
Yeah, I get it.
That was a good one. I like the
That was well played.
self-deprecating humor. I like
Next
it.
one. A terrible thing to sign on the cast of your friend's broken leg. Vote on your devices.
One is the question, the other is the answer.
I don't know which one to choose.
Oh, god damn it.
I'm coming.
So hard.
Oh,
That's all for round one. As the scoreboard.
I'm so glad this is demonetized.
Now, see, here's the bad part. Instead of Zinch, I should have gone with
Now
Slanesh.
where all points and bonuses are doubled.
This is definitely a Slaneshi kind of night.
Here we go.
Wow. Okay then. That's gonna be an interesting one.
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay,
That
here
one's
we
gonna
go.
get you copyrighted.
Starting
That
next
one
month,
could.
That
the
music
name
could
of a
not be
canine
more
comedy
perfect
club
for
with puppy
this.
stand-up comedians.
God, let's see.
Oh no!
Okay, everyone, vote for your favorites.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go for that one.
You mean not that
I'm gonna
one?
have to go for that one
What
as
about
well.
this one?
Bullshit. Great success.
Jared, I hope. Oh man, yeah, the fucking wait. That was great.
Hey, they escaped.
You have had.
The doggy bag was too good.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Next
but-
up, a completely
Yeah,
wrong way
I
to
know.
spell.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
It's voting time.
Oh, oh! They don't even answer the question.
Yes, they did. Hey, it said completely wrong.
Well, that's true.
Both of these
None of them are right.
completely wrong.
Figure out which one is the more wrong.
And again,
If either of those are wrong, I don't want to be right.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that.
I didn't vote for yours. I voted for Jared's.
Coming up next,
You're
come
not
up with a
chicken?
name for the most difficult
No.
yoga pose known to mankind. Time to vote.
Oh fuck me! I'm afraid to see this one.
wow.
This is some deep hole that I'm not getting out again.
Nope, not at all.
Are you sure?
No.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
This is some deep hole that I'm not getting out again. Jared, check internal chat.
Okay, next one.
What the fuck?
It's voting time.
Oh damn!
You know what? The training manual is probably a little crusty and difficult to flip through.
Who wouldn't want to find the second one?
But if you find the second one, it's the 37 hook. How do they fit under the bed?
Oh, cool. Yes!
Oh.
New audience.
And next, a great brand name for extra.
Oh,
no.
Vote on your devices.
I can't wait to see. Oh.
You know what? That one gets it. That one works. That actually does fit.
I whipped my
The
flavored
second one
condom.
actually works. Yes.
But what flavors?
Super train flavored.
Good one, Nikki.
Come on, audience. Thank you. Thank you. Nikki deserves a quiplash tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, because I am not kidding. I am fucking broken because of Twitter and this.
The 11th commandment.
Hey,
thou
well,
shalt
you know what? You
not-
can bring.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh, good God.
Oh no. You know what? Yeah. Yes, that one should be a commandment.
Yes, yes, it should. Yes, it should. Yes, it should.
Wow. Wow.
The second one should be a commandment. Yes. You need to lick my super train.
No. Thou shalt not lick the
God.
super train.
And that's all for round 2. Fire up the scoreboard.
All right, let's see the scores here. They see the damage I suffered. Ugh. Oh, fuck me, Ronnie.
This has actually been a pretty even spread the last couple of
Everyone
rounds.
gets the same
I will give it
one
that.
single prompt this time.
Yeah. I haven't won
Our
one
prompt
yet,
is-
so I wouldn't call it an even spread yet. Fuck you, Greg.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't think right now, so.
I think we're gonna call it at this one, and call it a night
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
oh my
I think I'm
god,
gonna call it.
Apply your votes.
Oh, come on. We can play another round after that.
no, I no, not at this one. Okay. Oh, okay. I wouldn't say that one is embarrassing. Or that one. But that one would be embarrassing. And people were
I
wondering.
gave all of you asshats. I gave all of you asshats one vote. Fuck y'all.
Well, so Tasty was worried that he was going to be the butt of the joke tonight. But I would rather say,
You wish came to the rescue.
Tasty owes me. Tasty owes me money for tonight. Tasty owes me fucking cash tonight.
I will let you two settle that.
That fucker owes me money tonight. That's for damn sure.
You're the one that opened your mouth.
I'd even engage. To save his ass. To save his ass, I even engaged in self-deprecating humor tonight. So that fucker owes me money.
See, the third round. Nikki, you have that third round down pat.
I told you I'm broken.
Let's see the final score.
How about this? We play another round, but you cannot use the Wish Super Train at all as an answer. That's a challenge.
I can't right now. I am so fucking broken. Look. Seriously, all right. Game's over. The game's over. Look on Twitter and you'll see why the fuck I'm broken.
I saw what Steve posted.
Well, it's not just that. It's been the whole conversation.
Well, I saw the whole
time.
conversation.
Oh, hang on. We'll do it this way. We will go ahead and do a little bit to change the layout. Let's go there. Okay. Now, what Twitter thread are you referring to? Well, let's go ahead and share with the class before the end of the day.
All of them.
No, which one that you were just talking about that involved Steve?
Oh, the one where Steve got it?
Yeah, post it to internal chat.
Or show it on screen. Let the audience see it as well.
Okay. Jay, you might be a little bit faster at that than me because I've got it. My Twitter feed's completely destroyed right now.
Granted, I see that I have 38 notifications on Twitter.
Right. So I think
A lot
this
of
is the one
those
you're.
are being trashed.
I think this is the one, and then Steve comes in here.
Also, I'm blocked by Brainy and FTFE. So
Okay, well, go ahead and zoom in a bit so it's easier to fucking read.
Yeah.
There we go. Excuse me.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Steve, you're asking them for evidence?
Oh, it gets better. It gets fucking better.
Hold on.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to watch this on YouTube.
No. Wow.
No, vodka runs straight through me.
As does your super train.
I was trying not to say it.
God damn it.
Or was it the other way around?
The train caused it to be easier to flow through them.
Be one with the train.
There it is.
Oh, not February 20th.
Oh,
February
no.
10th.
Read the rest of the comment. December 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's out of the bag. And this is why I've been broken, and this is I've been quietly fucking laughing. This is why every time we brought the whole "you wish" thing, I couldn't contain it because I was legit not being able to breathe because I was jumping between Twitter and here, and Twitter and here, trying to, yeah.
Yeah, I get. I've said it a number of times, and oh wow. Oh, okay. Steve and I are gonna have quite
Oh no!
the chat.
No! Just wait.
Oh, there's more?
Oh God, there is.
Oh,
Yes.
wait. Let's see the clip and let's play the audio of the clip.
No. Okay, it's boom boom.
There it is.
I've had the audacity to point out that you need to be worried about the people around you. That you need to be worried about the people you associate with and how they act and the actions that they have no hesitation of taking place in and perpetuating and encouraging, as long as it goes against the people they hate. But as soon as the same actions are even mentioned that could happen against them, they get all in a huff because they can dish it out but not take it. Because I had the audacity to point this shit out and then quietly leave because I'm not going to be around that shit. I'm not going to be around those fuckers.
Yep.
I'm putting I'm putting my distance between all of it. I didn't make a public fuss of this. I did not make a big deal out of it. I said what I needed to. I disassociated quietly, and I was content to just let them do whatever they wanted. There was no need for me to say anything more. But at the same time, I wasn't going to be involved publicly, because there was no need for me to be. They were going to self-destruct on their own. Would I still hold a mirror up to certain behaviors? Yes. Was I going to hide that I was holding up a mirror for certain behaviors? No. As a matter of fact, just in the past week, you can go see probably at least 5 or 6 times where I've outright said, hey, I'm doing this because I know they're going to see it and I know they're going to react. There has been no hiding of my intentions on some of the things that I've said. And if what I've said makes you uncomfortable because you feel like you've been personally attacked and called out for said actions, that's your guilty conscience speaking. You should listen to it and do better.